Steve Moran and my good friend Russell Rush, who is the creator, the inventor of the R3R1 Senior Living Advanced Sales System. And each day we are providing a tip that you can put to work immediately to help you be a better salesperson. And one of the things that happens a lot, I hear this frustration probably more than anything else, is that people get too many unqualified leads and they get way down the road before they realize that they're not qualified. Can you talk to me about trying to figure out this qualification thing and how to make it better?
This is a huge issue, as you mentioned, Steve, in senior living. And the reason why, if you think about this logically, the person who's calling into a senior living community, they don't understand the various options that there's independent, assisted, skilled, memory, various levels of assisted living. So they don't really know what's out there. They just throw them all together in one pot in many cases. And so when they call, they may not be age or health appropriate for a specific solution. So if somebody's selling independent living and somebody calls and they're not medically qualified, they're too sick, they need to know, they need to be able to figure that out. Or if they're too well, on the other hand. So for example, the person's not age qualified, because we know that the majority of people who use independent living are in a certain demographic unless they have a health issue. And so this is a big factor in senior living sales. And we have seen senior living salespeople spending way too much time with people who are not qualified to buy their specific service. And that is a terrible mistake, because time is money. We can't reinvent time and energy. And so if we take somebody and we give them a tour, we have meetings with them, and they're not qualified, either age qualified or health qualified for our specific solution, it's a terrible waste of time.
So there's one other qualification you didn't talk about, and I'm not sure whether you want to talk about it in this tip or another one, but what about when they're not qualified? How do you figure out whether they're qualified economically?
Well, economically is another factor. They have to be able to afford your service, meet your demographics, and meet with you on a favorable basis. That's the definition of a prospect. So the money aspect is obvious. If they can't afford your service, that's something we need to determine very, very quickly. So if someone's over curious about money, they have an idea of what you're talking about in terms of the cost, and they say, I just simply can't afford that, they probably can't. So we have to find people who can afford our service, meet our demographics, health and age-wise, and will meet with us on a favorable basis and give us a favorable hearing so that we can persuade them that senior living, that's the solution, living in a community, and our specific community is the solution, whatever the community is.
Terrific. Russell, another great tip. The series is just wonderful, but we also know that if people really, really want to up their game, they want to be in that top 5, 2, 3, 1%, want to get better than you, that they need to take the R3R1 Advanced Sales class that will teach them how to close 70–80% of the tours on the first time. And that, so if you're interested in doing that, if you want to sell like that, follow the link below, give us your name, and we will let you know when the next class starts. Thank you very much again for this tip. You can also subscribe and find all the series on YouTube. There's a link for that as well. And we appreciate your watching, and we will have more of these tips soon. Thank you very much. Russell, thank you.